In Hidden in Plain Sight, we follow Anna, a woman desperate to escape her abusive partner, who takes a desperate and dangerous step, faking her own death. With a young son in tow, she relocates to a small town to start over in anonymity, hoping the shadows will shield them. But as secrets from her past threaten to surface, and the man she fled won't stop until he has her, Anna is forced to confront the reality that even in her new life, safety may only ever be an illusion. The film begins with Katie, who in her present life goes by the name Anna, sprinting through a forest at night, clutching an axe with both hands. The sound of twigs snapping under her feet and her ragged breathing fill the air. Behind her, Nick, the man she once trusted and loved, is chasing her down. His figure looms closer and closer as he calls out, his voice a mix of rage and taunting confidence. Anna stumbles, nearly dropping the axe. She glances back terrified, and the scene cuts abruptly before the outcome is revealed. The narrative then shifts to 1 week earlier. Anna is seen working quietly at a small local restaurant, living under her new name and identity. A male customer notices her and tries to strike up a conversation, complimenting her service and eventually asking if she would like to go out sometime. Anna forces a polite smile but declines quickly, excusing herself to attend to another table. Her refusal is gentle, but her guardedness is clear. She has no room for distractions, and any new connection feels dangerous. Her priority is her son, Danny, and keeping him safe. That evening, Anna relaxes at a bowling alley with a close friend. The two women sit in plastic chairs laughing between turns, their bowling shoes squeaking on the polished lanes. They talk about men, relationships, and the struggles of raising children alone. Anna's friend teases her, insisting she deserves to let loose and maybe even accept the date from the restaurant customer. Anna laughs but shakes her head, brushing off the idea. Not for me. At home, Danny sits at the kitchen table with his homework. His innocent questions cut into Anna's fragile sense of calm. He asks about his father, who he is, where he is, and why he is never around. Anna repeats the carefully rehearsed story she has told him for years, telling him that his father is away serving in the military. She speaks slowly, trying to sound convincing, but her eyes betray the sadness she carries. Anna turns away, and the story slips into a flashback. Katie is at an art gallery, dressed stylishly, pouring drinks for visitors. She moves confidently through the crowd until she notices a man standing alone, gazing at a painting. She approaches with a smile, offering him a glass of wine. Their conversation begins casually. He seems quiet but intrigued by her charm. Their small talk quickly becomes flirtatious. The man, Nick, purchases the painting she shows him, and the sale is sealed with more than money. Their interaction ends in intimacy, and what begins as an ordinary evening becomes the start of a relationship that will later consume her life. Back in the present, Anna continues her routine. After dropping Danny at school, she calls her mother, Evelyn, from her car. Their conversation touches on normal topics: school, groceries, weather, but beneath it runs an unspoken fear. Anna reminds Evelyn to remain cautious, to keep everything discreet. Evelyn reassures her, trying to sound confident. Later that day, Evelyn follows through on one of their carefully planned precautions. She drives to another town to pick up a package from a locker, a strategy to keep their real address hidden. After retrieving it, she stops for coffee, placing her order absent-mindedly. Suddenly, a familiar male voice speaks behind her, ordering the same drink. She turns, her face freezing in shock. It is Nick. The encounter is tense and disorienting. Nick greets her casually, speaking as though nothing has changed. He claims he is now engaged, mentioning it almost proudly. But then his words take a darker turn. He confides that he still believes Katie is alive, saying he never bought into the story of her disappearance. His suspicion lingers like a threat. Evelyn, shaken, leaves as quickly as possible and later calls Anna, telling her everything. Anna listens in disbelief, insisting he must be lying, but her voice wavers. The safety of her hidden life feels suddenly fragile. Another flashback interrupts her thoughts. Katie is sitting across from Nick at a romantic dinner. He presents her with a small box containing earrings, a gift he expects her to accept. Katie smiles nervously, but pushes them back, telling him she cannot take them. Nick's expression hardens instantly, his anger surfacing. He speaks sharply, accusing her of rejecting him. Katie looks frightened, but Nick quickly softens, apologizing and taking her hand. They return home and the evening ends in intimacy, their cycle of tension and reconciliation repeating. The flashback continues into a more disturbing memory. Katie wakes in the night to find a burglar in the house, groping her and demanding money. She cries out, but before she can move, Nick charges into the room and attacks the intruder. He kills the man on the spot. the violence sudden and shocking. Katie is horrified. She rushes to call the police, but Nick shouts at her, ripping the phone from her hand. "I can't go back to prison," he yells, his voice full of desperation and rage. He orders her to tell no one, threatening her into silence. Katie's terror is visible, and the scene solidifies the truth of Nick's nature. He is dangerous and unrepentant. The film returns to Anna's present life. At the restaurant, the man from earlier reappears. His name is Lucas, and his presence is warm and reassuring. He makes light conversation with Anna, asking about her day. Though hesitant, Anna responds more openly than before. Meanwhile, Evelyn faces another chilling moment. Nick shows up at her home, smiling, as though he belongs there. He steps inside, looking around until his eyes fall on family photographs. He notices Danny and studies the pictures closely. Evelyn tries to divert his attention, but Nick is sharp, and his suspicion that Katie is alive hardens into certainty. Anna remembers another confrontation with Nick from her past. She is walking toward her car when he suddenly appears, furious that she has been ignoring his calls. He corners her, his voice rising. He pulls out a photograph of Evelyn, showing it to Katie as a threat. "I can always find you," he warns, his tone menacing. Katie trembles, realizing his control extends beyond her. The flashback fades, leaving Anna shaken. Determined to live normally, Anna accepts Lucas's invitation to go bowling. She brings Danny, and her friend joins them. The evening is lighthearted, filled with laughter and small talk. Lucas opens up about his past, revealing that he once had a child. Anna listens, touched by his vulnerability. She shares fragments of her own story, careful not to reveal too much. The connection between them grows stronger, and at the end of the night, they sit in his car and share a tender kiss. Meanwhile, back at Anna's home, her friend babysits Danny. The boy notices a shadow outside the window and grows frightened. His fear is palpable until the figure turns out to be the friend's boyfriend. The tension eases, and Danny is reassured. Anna returns home later to find him asleep, relieved that he is safe for now. Another memory pulls her back. Katie is crying uncontrollably, overwhelmed by her situation. She confides in a close friend who suggests a drastic solution: forge documents, change her name, and disappear. Katie listens, realizing it may be the only way. In a symbolic act, she throws her phone into a river, severing ties with her old life. From that moment, she becomes Anna, determined to live hidden in plain sight. Danger returns swiftly. Anna discovers her car tire has been slashed. Uneasy, she calls Danny's school to check on him. At the same time, Nick arrives at the school, claiming to be Danny's father. Staff, unaware of the truth, allow him to take the boy. Nick brings Danny to a diner, ordering milkshakes. He speaks bitterly about Anna, painting himself as misunderstood. Danny listens, confused, and asks if Nick is really his father. When Anna reaches the school and discovers Danny missing, her panic is overwhelming. She searches frantically, but Nick has already taken him to a motel. Inside the room, Danny resists, asking for a toothbrush and showing doubt about Nick's claims. Nick calls Anna, his tone smug, assuring her that Danny is safe but making it clear he holds all the power. Danny seizes an opportunity when Nick dozes off. He slips out and finds the motel manager, who kindly allows him to use the phone. Whispering into the receiver, he tells his mother where he is. Nick soon realizes Danny is gone and bribes staff to open doors, storming through the building. Danny hides in a room, clutching the phone. When Nick finds Danny's backpack, the manager confronts him with a gun. Anna arrives in time, pulling Danny into her arms and fleeing before Nick can stop them. Back home, Anna collapses into Lucas's embrace. She confesses everything, explaining her past with Nick, her decision to change her identity, and her constant fear. Lucas consoles her, suggesting perhaps Nick only wanted to see his son, but Anna shakes her head firmly. "He's dangerous. He always was," she insists. They go to the police, but officers say their hands are tied without concrete evidence. Anna feels helpless, her trust in the system shattered. That night, she dreams vividly of Danny knocking on the door, saying he is scared. She wakes in tears, clutching her son, realizing the threat is still real. The final confrontation arrives suddenly. Nick breaks into Anna's home. She grabs Danny and flees out the back, running into the dark forest. The opening image of the film returns. Anna, clutching an axe, sprinting through the trees as Nick closes in. He catches up to her, overpowering her, and preparing to strike. At the last moment, Lucas appears, throwing himself into the fight. The struggle is violent and chaotic, both men grappling fiercely. Anna scrambles in the dirt, her eyes falling on the pistol Lucas had once urged her to keep. She hesitates only briefly before grasping it. With determination, she raises the weapon and fires twice. Nick falls, finally defeated. The story closes with a sense of relief and resolution. Anna, Danny, Lucas, and Evelyn sit together, safe at last. Anna no longer lives in hiding. She embraces her life as Anna, not Katie, and no longer looks over her shoulder in fear. In the final scene, she and Lucas share a kiss, a symbol of healing and the start of a new chapter. Danny is safe, Evelyn is by her side, and Nick's shadow is gone forever.